Hi guys, Aka here. That new event smell is in the air. The running of the Bulls event is upon us, and in this event, Evony has graced us with a lot of stuff. Okay, some exciting stuff, some quality of life stuff, obviously, some coining stuff as well. So let's go through the important things that we have in this event and see what they're looking like. All right, now the first thing I want us to go through, the really big news in this event is that we have a new battlefield coming. Okay, here we have the announcement for the Storm Ruins battlefield, and apparently it's gonna be live from the 14th of July. So in about 3 days from now, which is gonna be a Monday. All right, interesting timing, but okay. So there's a lot of stuff in here about things that we need to do. Okay, so we go down, we look at the battlefield rules. Okay, we can see that it says here each season has 4 rounds and each round lasts 2 weeks. So maybe that's like a COC style kind of timing that we have there. And we have the dates for the first 4 rounds. Okay, now the rules, there are no continents. All right, fair enough. We know how that's going to be, but oh well, we take it as it is. And apparently 10 monarchs from each server will be picked and divided into 2 teams. And it says you can play up to 15 matches per round. This is kind of interesting. I had heard from some people that Evony was testing out a new battlefield on the test servers, but I have absolutely no idea how this is going to run. Okay, so we have all the other rules here in the mail, including the prizes and things that we can win. So this is going to be interesting. I came out and I went to the battlefield area to check to see if I can see it. Nothing here right now, so maybe this will pop up later. Also check in the event center. Scroll down, we've got BOC, BOG there, but no BOSR. Is that what we'll call it now? Anyway, so yes, something to look forward to there from Monday. Now, moving on to the coining parts of the update, we come to the cake here, and Evony have released some new cake decorations. All right, now normally I don't cover cake decorations in my update videos, simply because it's not a thing that I'm usually involved in. But this time, I felt the castles were a bit interesting, so yeah, I'll cover it. So we have the decoration here at cake 10, okay? That's it right there. And interestingly, there are 2 choices that we have, okay? So these are the 2 castles that are up for grabs this time if you full cake. And of course, they have buffs. So we look at the first one right here, okay? We see the buffs that it has. It has healing speed, in rally ground attack, which is, ground troop defense and ground troop HP. Okay, that's good, both 20%. All right, not bad. Let's look at the other one. So this one has also got healing speed, has got siege attack 15%, and attacking siege defense and HP 20%. Okay, that's interesting. Now, I'm not really a betting person, but I would assume that people would go for this castle more than they would for this one. Okay, that's just my feeling because we know how people go crazy over siege buffs. So yeah, those are the castles. And if you're planning on caking this event, or even not caking, just, planning to spend a bit to do some stuff, here's something that might interest you. So guys, we all like money, right? I'm hoping it's a safe assumption to say that we all like money. However, we find that when coining in Evony, the money can go very quickly, And in a lot of cases, it doesn't really go as far as we would have hoped it would. Well, to help us with that, enter Paxify. Paxify is a company that provides discounts to gamers. They have been providing discounts to other games, and now we have them in Evony. And the main thing that Paxify will do for you is to help you make sure that your money goes as far as it possibly can. And that, of course, will help you achieve more of the growth and development in the game that you want, especially if you are not currently using any discount service at all. Now, for anyone whose eyes have lit up hearing that, I want you to know that Paxify is easy to set up, okay? Really easy. It's region free. Basically, anyone in the world can use it. And there's an option for Android users and an option for iOS users. So everyone is pretty much covered here. Now, if that's interesting to you and you'd like to check them out, I'll have the link to Paxify's website down in the description of this video, or you can just do a Google search for Paxify or search for them on Trustpilot. They've got tons of reviews there and you can check them out for yourself. In addition, I'll have the link to the setup video that I did showing you how easy it is to use Paxify. So if you want to try and make sure that your money does as much for you as it possibly can, give Paxify a try. Okay, so the other thing that we want to touch on is that, of course, as expected, we have a new general. So this is the new general that we have here, Gonzalo, okay? And he's a range general, okay? Now, looking at his stats, it's okay, you know, that kind of thing. I will do a general review on him so that we can see what he looks like. But yeah, we've got Gonzalo. So, you know, for people shopping for a new range general, check out the general review once it comes out, and it'll be out very soon. Now, aside from those, Evony did give us some interesting quality of life updates. All right, so we check out the version updates here, and they have made some changes to the Senate. So what they've done here is that they have reduced some of the requirements for opening up things in the Senate, okay, for upgrading, opening up slots and, you know, all those kind of things. So that's perfectly fine. That's good. The one thing I'd point out is that most of these changes seem to be for the lower levels of the Senate, okay? And I'll tell you why. For example, if we come out and have a look at my Senate, okay, my Senate is currently at level 27. All right, level 27 is there, and the requirements I need to upgrade it, I need victory column 9. Okay, they haven't changed that, they haven't lowered that, so I still have to do VC 9. But for the lower levels, it looks like they changed some things. So if your Senate is lower than 27, check it out and see if some of those changes apply to you. Okay, there are also some changes inside the Senate that they made, some unlocking requirements. Again, my Senate is at the point where it's not really helpful for me as much, but if yours is lower, check it out. Maybe you might be lucky and you can do some upgrades in your Senate. Now, the other things that they did, they made a change to how we revive troops, okay? Now, great news, the resource cost for when reviving troops in your holy palace has now been slashed by 50%, okay? Which is great, which is awesome. Anything that can save us resources is good. However, the part that Evony, I don't want to say cheaped out on, but I mean, if you're slashing the revival cost, you should also slash this as well. Unfortunately, the soul crystal cost is still the same. And in all honesty, the soul crystal cost is really where, you know, the whole thing is in. They've also added the option to do a one-tap revival, which is good. So you don't have to be in your holy palace and tapping and tapping and tapping all the time, right? I think that's great. And this is the part that I'm actually particularly happy with. The troop soul conversion rate is increased by 25%. My interpretation of this is that when your troops die, we all know that there's a certain percentage of those troops that go to the troop souls. So my understanding of this is that that percentage has now been increased by an additional 25%. If my interpretation is wrong, please let me know, but that's the way I'm seeing it. So when we come to the Holy Palace here, I think that that's, all in all, I think that's a good update. Okay, I think that's a good change. Like I said, I would have liked for them to reduce the soul crystal cost as well, but you know, you take what you can get. So for anyone that has troops to revive in your holy palace, check this out and please leave a comment so that the rest of us know exactly how this thing is looking and how it works. and if you think that the update is actually a worthwhile one. Okay, it's good for us to know that information, because as you can see, I don't have any trips to revive here, so anyway. Now the next thing that they brought out, which is also interesting, for leveling up generals, they have done it so that you can actually select the amount of XP that you want. Okay, and some of you might be looking at this and be like, what's going on here? So when we come to our generals and we want to level up the general, okay, Evony made this adjustment where it automatically calculates how much of the general XP you need to level up the general based on what you have. All right, which was good. I tell you 100%, that was a good update. They also made it so that you just tap once and it automatically does the upgrade for you. That's good. What they didn't do was to give us the option to manually select which of these general XPs that we wanted. Fortunately, now they have done that. So everything has come full circle now, and this update to general leveling, I think, is now complete. Okay, so this is good. Good stuff. Then the next thing that they brought up is transferring king. Now, this is an interesting one, because what they've done apparently is that if you take the throne and you now have the option to transfer that kingship to someone else in your alliance. Or I'm assuming it's someone else in your alliance. I don't know if you can transfer it to other alliances, but I think that's okay, because I'm sure some of us might have experienced this situation where your alliance is taking the throne and the person that is R5 has gone to sleep. I'm sure we've all experienced that. So the person that's actually supposed to be king is there frantically messaging everyone like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We can't reach him. We can't change the R5. I think that situation has been taken care of now with this update, but that's something to wait and see. Now, the next thing that they have here is they said reward pop-ups removed. Now, this one, okay, it's a quality of life thing, all right? So that's cool. Now, for anyone that doesn't know what this is talking about, let's take, Gather Troops event, for example, okay? So you usually have stuff that you can claim here, right? And you know that usually when you click claim, you'll get a pop-up showing you all the rewards that you have claimed in there. And then you have to tap the screen again for the pop-up to go, and then you can click the next one. Well, what they've done now is that once you tap it once, that pop-up doesn't come up, it goes straight into your inventory. Which, yeah, is cool, gives you less clicks and things like that. So yeah, all right, decent update, no problem. Okay, anything that gives us less clicks in the game is always welcome. So that's that. And then the final one that they have here, they say new patrol feature. The patrol interface has been revamped. See 10 rewards at once and select all to refresh all at a single tap. The rewards have been upgraded, and now they have put a manual refresh limit on it, 10 per day. Interesting. Let's go to the patrol and see what it's looking like now. Okay, so this is what patrol looks like. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of us haven't done patrolling in a while. Okay, it looks quite different here. All right, very different. Okay, so I'm checking this out for the first time. All right, so let's see how it goes. If we tap select here, these items are here. If I tap this, then I need to pay 210 gems to get these rewards. Okay, let's try that. All right, so I get all those rewards. Okay. And then select this out. Let's try to refresh. Okay, so we refresh with gold and it's changed the rewards. Okay. Let's refresh again. Let's see if we get any rewards that we like. Okay, so let's take this one. Or you can select the individual rewards that you want. Okay, I'll take this. Let's see, anything else? No. Refresh. So yeah, this is what the patrolling is looking like now. I will probably need a bit more time to experiment with this to see if it's actually worth using. But I don't know about this one. My initial feeling is that this change was made not so much to improve what we get from patrolling, but to sort of prevent people from abusing it with bots and auto clickers and things like that. That's what I think this is about. But like I said, I'm not going to pass judgment on it just yet. I'll have to experiment with it a bit more before I know what's going on. Okay, now the next thing that we want to talk about is Evony made some improvements, okay, in quotes, to some of the monthly cards that we have, okay? So Glory card, the rewards have been increased. Rally card, rewards have been increased, and, things like that there. Okay, that's fine, that's cool. And some of us will probably have gotten this email of, some of the extra rewards that we get from those cards. Okay, that's cool. We take it, and that's some good stuff. All right, more rewards, always welcome. So, check that out and see if you're happy with the rewards. So, those are a lot of the important things that we have in this update. Of course, all the other events that we have, Ranger Night Order is back, the Nightmare event is back, and different things, okay? Speed Up event is currently ongoing, so that's cool. If I missed anything important out, please let me know. And like I said, general comparison on the new General Gonzalo will be out soon, so be sure to check it out when it drops. That's it for me, guys. Thank you very much. Aka signing out.